You're listening to a Loot Dummies podcast, LOOTDummies.com. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, a weekly podcast following a group of friends as they battle across a homebrewed world called Antiriath in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Step into the mystical world of Antiriath and follow as our party adventures across the lands. Solid Grug, half-orc fighter-sorcerer from the wretched valleys of Mek'Zim, played by Taylor. A Learlock Bloodhair, Harengon cleric whose fate seems determined by luck itself, played by Joey. Pomerel the Gatekeeper, Summer Eladrin paladin from the Feywild city of Solaria, played by Seth. And Body Not Greenleaf, the halfling rogue with a penchant for taking things that don't belong to him, played by Josh. And last but not least, the creator of our beautiful world, the man of many voices, and our dungeon master, Sam. And welcome back, everyone, to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, the podcast.
My lord. Okay, Seth.
Let's
Chickens.
play some D&D.
No,
Oh, let's talk
chickens
about your
first.
chickens.
Let's talk about your chickens first. Tell me
What
about
about
the chickens.
my chickens?
I want to know about your
Fucking those
chickens.
Well,
Oh my god, it all came around.
there's 6 of them currently in the brooder that we basically just...
Brooder. When you say brooder fast like that, it doesn't
I
sound
love it.
acceptable.
It made me happy.
Yeah. Not the breeder,
Shoved
the
them in my
brooder. Yeah. So they've got various forms of heat and food and drink, and they'll mostly just consume and defecate and piss.
Like all babies.
Yeah, for the next 6 to 8 weeks, at which point they'll move outdoors and to a chicken coop, and then somewhere around October they'll begin producing eggs.
Oh man, October.
And then if I don't get a rooster out of these 6, then I'll probably get a rooster sometime this winter. And as they start to lay their early spring
Get more
eggs,
and more.
I will get an incubator and perpetuate the family tree.
Let
But
it expand
So
indefinitely.
How many
these are
chickens
just
are you planning for?
by the time it's all said and done, I don't know. It's a
In your
common.
chicken skyscraper.
I can fit 25 probably. So I
Oh,
haven't
that's
decided
too
yet.
many though. That's a
Well,
hassle.
once you get to a dozen, there's really no difference to care for a dozen to 30. It's the same.
Oh, that's funny
it's
because
the
a
same
dozen is
daily routine.
totally the number I was thinking would be the ideal number. Well, yeah, but also with
Well, you fill up the automatic feeder and you fill up the automatic water once a day. It doesn't matter how many you've got, right?
yeah, I guess. And I guess if one gets out when you've got 30 of them, you're like, well, it's
Yeah.
nice knowing you.
But these aren't just
Goodbye.
ones from the store. These are a half dozen from a guy who has been breeding what he feels is the perfect line of chickens for this weather.
Designer chickens.
Yeah, they're free. They were free. He thinks everyone should have chickens, so he breeds a fuckload of them and hatches and incubates a fuckload of them every
This
spring.
person sounds fascinating already.
You've met him. He's my boss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he is fascinating. I
Yeah.
would not have taken him as a chicken guy.
He believes that everyone should have chickens. Even if you
So he's
live in an
some kinda
apartment, you should
he's-
have a chicken.
He's some kind of chicken supremacist. Chicken genetic supremacist.
So he's been breeding these things to where the roosters are these super gentle assassins. They're super gentle with the hens, but they're vicious towards hawks and snakes and stuff. And,
Mhm.
and
But they're
gentle with
gentle
people.
lovers. They're
Yeah,
gentle
they're gentle
lovers.
lovers. He
But
calls them
there's no way
gentle.
there's no way they're gentle lovers.
They're well, they are. They treat their girls nice. They don't
They-
overmount.
Ladies?
Yeah, they don't overmount. They don't peck at their
Selective
backs.
breeding for the gentlest lovers.
Yeah.
Overmount is the nicest way to say what a mean rooster does to its hens.
Chicken
Yeah,
rape.
it doesn't fuck them into oblivion.
Straight up just violence. over mounting the hens.
Yeah, he doesn't have to
Henry.
get any saddles for his hens to protect them from the overmounting or anything.
Oh my god, I didn't know there were hen saddles.
But his type of rooster, so if one of these pops out a rooster, they fucking fly.
Oh,
He's been
Well, that's-
breeding these roosters that fly so they can
so
better
they can
combat the
literally
hawks.
battle the hawks in the air. Oh my god. It's like in Zelda, if you hit the cuckoos too many times, they just become weapons of mass destruction.
Exactly like that. So anyway, so we'll see what we get, but there'll be like silver and onyx and green and purple.
I'm elated,
Cool.
especially since
Yeah.
I think I'm close enough to be on the list of
On the egg
fresh
list?
egg recipients. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. So
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, now that we got all that out of the way, now I think we can
Hi,
go
Joey.
into yeah.
Y'all talk way too much for my existence.
No.
The energy level just too high, just coming
Just
in
too
too
high.
hot.
I don't even want to attempt to get a word in because I just don't want to try.
Oh man,
I respect that. I respect that.
I can respect it. I don't like it.
I'm here. I'm
I
existing.
appreciate it.
I'm very happy that you're here.
The good news about D&D is that it is a turn-based game. So
So we have to shut up
there
at some point.
should be an opportunity for you to have a moment. Although we don't normally do our role plays very structured.
At least
so
6 seconds.
at least 6 seconds a minute. That sounds like a innuendo in and of itself. Well, I think it's time for a good old-fashioned recap. That probably cut. Yeah, that's all right. It was like a yeehaw, but recap.
Regardless. Keep fucking that chicken.
Did I miss something?
Are you ready for a recap?
Recap us.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Let me take a swig of something. I got a mouthful of Cool Ranch
could
Doritos.
Do the recap if you would like. If you're
Oh.
too full of Cool Ranch Doritos.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can be kicked out of my one roll. That's fine.
Oh my god, that is not what I meant. I was offering it as an olive branch, not as a ousting.
Okay. In the previous session, there had been all kinds of shenanigans. At which point, Pomerel found himself in a fight in an alleyway, a back alley brawl, if you will. He dives and ducks and dodges and ducks and dodges, and is able to connect with one violent attack against the goon's apparent leader. And the remaining goons run away as Thomas unties Jenneth. He had got just gigged by a small dagger that was poisoned, but Pomerel is able to heal the poison. And then Pomerel picks up the little box, and Thomas and Jenneth decide to elope, and because Thomas' cover is blown, and they fled away. Talik pretty much hangs around with Spit Bibley, resting and getting his ear talked off, which is Joey's favorite thing. And we cut to Body Knock, who has got a grand scheme for acquiring this Diviner's Bowl that Alirlock wants. And Body Knock is trying to figure out the hoops of the old whatever his name is, Trailer Boy. So Pomerel tells him about the Zentarum. Gil.
Oh yeah, Gil.
Pomerel tells him about
Trailer
the
Boy.
Zentarum, but doesn't exactly say anything about the Harpers. He just says something about a harp key or something. And they head to Gil's shop to steal his shit, but his shop turns into a rock, at which point Body Knock deftly sneaks up to the Trailer Rock, which is discovered to be
Trailer Rock.
camouflage by Body Knock as he sneaks under the cloth. It is dark aside from the faint glow of all the magical items in the trailer and around it. Body Knock tries to pick the lock and succeeds, of course. As he gains entry to the trailer, he spots the divining bowl, but he also looks around the room and sees multiple other baubles and bibbles that he would find to be valuable. Body Knock then enters the room in the trailer, at which point a magical trap is triggered and an alarm caterwauls into the night air as Body Knock snatches the bowl and dip. Gil pursues Body Knock, but Body Knock slips away without issue, sneaking up behind his companions who are still wondering what is going on under the fake rock. At which point, Learlock shoves the bowl into his bag of holding, and the party returns for slumber. At the inn, the following morning, they wake up and Spit Bibley wakes them up with breakfast, as Learlock tells Pomerel the bowl is for a spell he is working on, but gives no further information. At that point, there's a brusque knock as a black armor knight enters the room and summons the party for their meeting with the King Regent, Dost Marine.
Beautiful.
Perfection. What's that meme with that guy just sitting at the table? He's like, perfection.
Man, I love his turtleneck.
I read everything I wrote down last time. It was just
Beautiful.
less details.
Well, it was more straightforward of a session. You know, we had some objectives, some things we wanted to accomplish. We kind of went through and accomplished those things, and that was the session.
The meandering shit. Oh my gosh!
The session before it was just chaos.
I don't know if my internal power in my brain flickered or if my lights flickered, but
well, I really hope it was the latter.
I don't have any ladders in here.
Oh God! Oh boy!
I do have one question.
Yeah. Yes, please.
So, if I told you I made a pencil with 2 erasers, would you know that it was pointless?
On it. Just ready to smack those drums every time.
Joey split a finger.
I found a rim shot sound effect, added it in post to the podcast so Joey's joke would hit, and it didn't have to be cut because the soundboard does not get recorded.
Right. Phenomenal.
He hits it perfect.
Joey,
the timing is delightful.
He's very flit a finger.
You split a finger.
It's my one roll that I have. You can't take it away from me.
It's my one roll.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. We're gonna figure out what everybody's one roll is.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, my one roll at this time and juncture, and really for all of it, is to set the scenes for you guys. So, yeah, you guys are having breakfast. You're about halfway through your breakfast when a little knock on the door, and the guy actually just lets himself in. He says to you guys, he's like, "Are you the guild members from the Confluence? His Majesty is expecting you this morning. I am here to escort you to the castle."
Yes, we would like to see the King Regent. I don't know what a guild member is.
Oh yeah, we're guild members.
Oh yes, we are guild members of the Confluence, and we would like to seek audience with your King Regent.
Well, then follow me. Spit starts grabbing. He grabs like several loaves of bread and like splits them open and just like takes your plate and shovels it into the bread for you and wraps it up. He says, "Here you go, breakfast to go. I call this the Spit Special."
Good idea, Spit.
Alec, do you believe that he spits in all of our food?
Who cares? Look how good this looks.
Oh, very well.
Yeah, I assume you guys are going to capitulate.
Follow
this guy. So you guys follow along, make your way up to the castle. There's not a whole lot of, security outside of the castle. You get there, and there's a couple security guards standing out front when you arrive, and they see you coming. The guy nods to him. Clearly, they were expecting you, and they just open the first set of doors for you, and the guard ushers you through into the room. And you come into like an antechamber area. There's several more guards standing around, and Father Therm is here, standing there, and he says, "Oh, good morning, folks. I hope that you've slept well and enjoyed our fine town yesterday."
We had a pleasant time, I'd say.
Excellent. The king asked that since I was one of the first to greet you, that I accompany you here today. I hope you do not mind.
Makes no difference to me.
So Pomerel, instead of walking around like the fuckboy that his companions have known him as up to this point, he has taken on an air of nobility with his chest puffed out and his nose in the air. He's reached an elite level of doucheness at this point.
Pomerel the fuckboy.
Put that on a t-shirt. An elite level of doucheness.
Pomerel the fuckboy on the front.
Pomerel the fuckboy. An elite level of doucheness.
Elite level of doucheness with a different pose. Oh my god. So Father Therm says, well, shall we? And the guards open up the next door for you guys. And Father Therm walks in through the door, leading y'all in. As you enter, you see a fairly opulent throne room. Nothing too overly ostentatious or ornate, but definitely a good display of wealth. There's fine paintings and tapestries hanging on the wall. It's fairly cozy, probably one of the coziest places you've been in Poco Rit. Father Therm walks up and takes a full single knee deep bow in front of the throne. Says, "Sire, it is good to see you. I come with emissaries from the Confluence Guild Hall." Everybody kind of settles down after the formal bowing. Do you guys bow?
Yeah, I do a little nod, half body.
Do like a 1/4 bow.
Pomerel does a ridiculous, ostentatious bow, almost like a bowling throw.
Yeah, like hand up behind him.
Just one leg out behind him, complete bow, one arm out to the side, one at his waist, a full bow, and then he just side eyes Father Therm for the pitiful introduction.
I give the absolute bare minimum.
Just like a head nod, like barely take your cigarette out of your
Yeah.
mouth.
Like you see a stranger in public, like someone you vaguely know. Just give them
Yeah.
a little look.
Little chin up.
Yeah.
Oh man. The king is actually writing something. He's got some glasses on his face, and he puts his book down and takes his glasses off. He says, "Oh, welcome to our fine city. I must apologize that our wonderful city's hospitality is diminished at the present. We have been having issues with the local wildlife, which is something, as I understand it, that you all might know something about."
Pomerel, in his elite level of doucheness, steps up and he declares, "I am Pomerel, the gatekeeper of the Eladrin people, leader of the royal guard, and direct right-hand man to Queen Islanya." And then he steps back in line and doesn't say anything else.
Welcome, Pomerel. Your presence here is an honor. It has been long since we have communed with the Fae. It was my understanding that their presence had been almost completely pushed out of these lands.
Due to the efforts of these brave soldiers next to me, we have conquered the foul stench that blocked our passageway between your land and our land, and now we continue forth in an effort to slay the remaining beasts that caused this blight upon your land.
As my information sounds correct, then both of my curiosities ring true, because the other question that I had for you, which we will come to in a moment, was how you were able to pass through the Rotwood, and just as curiously, how you found yourself there in the first place. But before we cover that, tell me, what do you know of these twisted creatures that plague us?
Alirlock, tell him what we know.
Oh, all right. Oh, it's a long story.
I am a patient man.
You put me on the spot. Tell it.
We killed this guy called the Druid, who was part of some master plan down at the Old Moon Tower. Are you familiar? Way down south.
I cannot say that I am. My knowledge beyond Romsverdi's borders, I must say, is not what it once was.
Oh, well. It's a big world out there, man. You ought to get out sometime. But anyway, so we killed this guy, the Druid. And he had some plan to mutate these animals on purpose, because something about taking back nature and wiping out all the humanoids. And while we were there, we found this vision of this monkey person that we think's name is Zaius, and we think that he's still alive. And throughout our travels, we think he's gone east of here to Asajiski. So that is where we are headed. But yeah, we're trying to figure this shit out.
You say east of here, and he came from the west, correct?
Well, we think he was in the west at some point, but he went east of here to Asajiski.
You know anything about the Temple of Husin?
I do not, but he makes a motion and someone kind of steps out from the side and goes off into another room, one of his attendants. He says, this monkey person, what you said his name was Zaius?
Yeah, we think so.
Did he lead a great host, or was he alone?
We weren't sure, but then we picked up tracks heading east of some kind of herd. Looks like he had a large group of animals with him. Or we think it was with him, but yeah. We saw a herd of animals headed east.
He looks at Father Therm, and they kind of share an uncomfortable glance for a moment. He says, my nephew Garnax, he is a leader of a special group, and he informed us that he believed there was a great migration occurring of animals. It was passing to the very south of our lands, so we hoped it would pass through and become a problem for Maxim, but they seem to have splintered out somewhere within our borders and spread out across the land. We're not sure exactly which way this Zaius of yours went, but there seems to be a scattering of these creatures all throughout my great kingdom now.
Yeah. Also, what have you heard of Husin?
He says, I've sent a scribe to look into it. I'm not familiar with this name myself, but we should hear back shortly. In the meantime, tell me, if you were following the creatures, then how did you end up in the Rotwood?
Oh,
Pomeril just goes, the sword, of course.
Oh, yeah, the sword.
A sword?
Sword, of course.
Sword, of course.
I'm not sure I'm following.
You know, and he rattles his sword in its scabbard, and he's like, sword!
Your sword was in the Rotwood?
Why, it is now, isn't it?
You went into the Rotwood to leave a sword behind.
Of course.
It's not important. It's a long story.
Of course. I mean, no offense, of course. How did you manage to emerge from the Rotwood unscathed? The horrors there are unspeakable.
Oh, we've killed a lot of shit. We killed a dragon.
You actually hear some of the guards kind of like mutter and mumble around the outside of the hall.
Yeah,
And,
adult dragon. A white dragon, wasn't it?
King Marine kind of squints his eyes towards you guys. He says, so you claim that you are on a quest to put this monkey man Zaius to the blade?
Well, potentially,
I see.
if that is the true finality of this source of these creatures.
What do you guys know about the creatures? Any theories?
No, as I said, they crossed our borders only a week or so ago, and the spread has been aggressive. They've been very unsteady and violent whenever they're encountered. Not sure exactly what the cause is. It sounds like you have much more information. This way that the druid transformed them, how was he doing it?
Good question. Yeah, he had this orb. And we think Zaius has the orb. It was like this glowing thing. We saw him one time in this town. He burned this town down way south of here. You probably never heard of it. And he had this orb. It seems to be the source of the power or something.
Troubling indeed. About that time, you hear the doors behind you guys where y'all came in fling open, and somebody comes running in and runs up right behind you guys and kind of like nudges kind of between and past you, like carefully. You can actually see he's kind of limping a little bit, and he's wearing the shiny eagle armor, but his big cloak is like burned and frayed, and he's got a limp to him. He kneels down in front of the king. He says, "Sire, please forgive my intrusion. I have urgent news from Mollypress, the village to the south. Fire beasts were still there when we arrived. The power was overwhelming, and your nephew, Sir Garnax, was lost. The king stands up and looks at him. He says, "Please, rise, my son. Come closer. You said my nephew was lost. What happened?" The soldier continues, says, "There was a host of great bulls flaming with fury, with hellfire upon their backs, sat orcs." He spits it a little bit as he says it. There's a kind of mumbling murmur around the room. The king says, "Calm, everyone, calm." He looks at you guys. He says, "This is grave news. Garnax was a powerful, bold, and strong man. If this was able to best my nephew and his host, then, well, soldier, the aid that we had sent, food, water," he says, I caught them on the way back. I told them to turn around. They should be here soon." The king and Father Thurm kind of take a little breath in. The king says, "I do not have any place to ask you this, but as it is part of your mission and you may be headed there anyways, if you find yourself anywhere near Molly Press and you run into these flaming beasts, avenge my nephew." And he takes a look around. "I think we're finished here." He goes and sits back in his throne. Father Thurm kind of does that thing where he like makes his arms wide and kind of like walks towards you guys to usher you out.
All right.
So you guys go out. You kind of go out with the soldier. When you get back out, the soldier just like slumps down on a bench and just like sits down and like takes a deep breath. You can tell he's been traveling hard for some time. Y'all had found out that this place was like a day's ride away, and that was the night before last that they went there, and he's back this morning, so it's been 36 hours or whatever since they left. I will turn it over to you guys. What do you guys want to do?
Pomerel is trying to determine which direction is south. He goes, "Talik, is that direction south?" And he's pointing southerly. "Is that south?"
Yeah, I look up at the sun. I'm like, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
"Very well. Are we within a mile of the inn?"
Yeah. The inn was fairly close to here.
"I'm summoning Sunbeam and headed south."
South to what? The place he was talking about with the creatures?
"Orcs on flaming bulls? That's what I'm here for."
Yeah. Maybe they're the bastards who killed my clan.
"Let's fucking kill them then."
All right, I'm down. Learlock, body knock.
That seems like a reasonable cause.
Yeah, fuck it.
Father Thurm says, "Please be careful. I don't have much to offer, but take these. They should aid you." And he hands you 2 healer potions, greater.
Greater healing. Okay.
Yep, and 2 vials of holy water.
Oh, okay.
So Sunbeam appears here. "Hey, well, what's up, man? How you doing?"
Stoner Sunbeam.
"I'm gonna have to re-summon you. This is too much. We're headed to kill orcs."
"Oh, hell yeah. Let's fucking do it, man. I'm ready.
Pomerel is talking out loud to Sunbeam. He's like, "Yes, all orcs deserve to taste the sting of my blade."
All right. Yeah, I get it. Let's do it. Let's fucking kill."
"Orc blood on my sword."
Yes. Oh, say it again.
"Orc blood on my sword." Pomerel mounts Sunbeam.
All right, everybody else has to go back and get a horse and a dog.
Yeah, I head over to the stables.
I'll make my way there.
Oh my god. Okay, so y'all get all gussied up. I think y'all had paid enough to spit bibly the first day to cover y'all through everything y'all ate and did. So he's like, "Well, if y'all ever come back through Pokerit, I'd love to see you again. It was great having you."
Yeah, we enjoyed it, Spit. Appreciate your hospitality. I flip him a gold coin as a tip.
Oh man, you guys have been too gracious. Thank you. Okay, so you guys are headed down to a city as y'all go to leave town out of the south gate, there is a sign. Molly Press, 18 miles, so it is going to be a good little trek, but it shouldn't be too bad. So less than a full day journey to get down there. And it's the morning, so y'all should be able to get there by evening pretty easy. So it's very windy. It is it's not raining, but it's warm and windy. Well, warm for the season, so it's actually only like 55. So not super warm because it's winter. You guys head south. You're still, pretty far north, but those mixed clover fields and kind of the really wetness of the area changes a little bit even in this short distance that you guys travel, and you start seeing like mixed rye and clover fields and stuff. You actually pass a lot of farms. This area around the castle and down towards this village, it's probably a village that supports the castle with farming and stuff. So as you guys are getting close to Molly Press, you can see smoke billowing in the distance. Just a huge cloud of black smoke rising up into the sky. And as you guys move in towards the city, it's just completely in ruin. And it's not just thatch roofs burned down. Even like stone homes have been like toppled over and crushed, and the stone is all in rubble on the ground, and the place has been almost completely leveled. As you guys come riding up into town, there's like a big opening courtyard type area. You see from a good ways off, probably 150 feet or so away, this giant flaming horned auroch with flames coming off of his hooves, and this kind of like ornate barding coming around his chest, and like a big nose ring in his hook, kind of snorts fire, and then around the two sides of him, kind of out from some crumbled building alleyways on either side, come two more of these large bulls, not quite as big as the one in the center, and on top of those two are sitting these mean looking orcs. One of the orcs shouts out at you in common. He says, "You stand before Zias's Grand General Grunulus. Pay fealty to him, and Zias may show you mercy."
Oh shit.
Fuck off, dick.
Wow.
These are more of your people, royals.
Oh, they're so exhausting.
I'm gonna pull out the big bone.
As you pull out your weapon, and we roll initiative, the orc just smiles, and you can barely hear him from the distance. He says, "Excellent. That's what Grunulus was hoping for."
I got a 5 on initiative.
9.
I got 18.
Nice. Oh, 3.
That's not good. 5, 9, 3. And 18.
Buddy. Oh no, that's not what you guys want.
Grand General Grungulus, fucking Triple G bitch.
Is that what messed you up? The Triple G?
Yes. All alliteration aside, let's fuck these people up.
Up?
Up,
Up.
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 Oh my, that's too many.
No, I think we took it far enough that it wrapped around to being funny again, to me at least.
We found the limit.
Oh my god. Yeah, so these guys actually, one of these guys off to the side actually beat you on initiative. The one that was talking.
Imagine.
First off, I gotta get y'all some art.
You're hiding his manhood with your armor.
Oh yeah, but
That
you
is
know
awesome.
there's a schlongbogger back in there somewhere.
There's a hog in there.
There's a hog
There's,
in
there's
that
a whole
hog.
other animal hanging out back there.
Well,
Alright, so this guy's gonna take off sprinting. He is going to run 100 feet on his flaming bull mount with his horns hot red, and then he is going to throw a javelin at you
At who?
At Pomerel, and he
course.
misses brutally. And then he is going to use his bonus action, because he's a special mounted person, to use the Auroch that he is mounted on's ability to flame forward another 50 feet, and he can just barely get close enough to hit you with his charge, which will subject you to an attack. Oh, which is also terrible. But he is now in your face. So the way I set you guys up, I don't know if you guys like this. I had Pomerel in the front, and Talik and Alirlock just behind that, and then Body Knock kind of another 10 feet behind that. Are y'all good with that?
Yep, makes sense.
All right, so Body Knock, it is your turn next. You got this guy 15 feet or so in front of you, engaging with Pomerel, and the other guys are both like 150 feet away.
Okay.
The other General Grunulus, and the orc on a...
How big is he in comparison to me? Large.
General Grunulus is huge. The other Aurochs are large.
Well, what's General Grundle's distance from me?
He's about 150 feet away.
Okay. So I'm in the back of the pack.
Yeah, just a few feet back.
I'm gonna go stealthy. Is there anywhere I can pull that off?
Yeah. So y'all kind of entered in. There was like a 20-foot wide area that kind of comes into this courtyard, and then it opens up. And y'all are still at the entrance of that. And there's actually trees on either side of where you're at, like a copse of trees on both sides. You want to kind of zip over into the trees.
Yeah, I reroll that. That's a 10. Or not a reroll, it's a 10. So, yeah, 21.
21. Let me double check, actually. These guys have decent perception. Not good enough for that. So, okay, so you kind of dip off to the side and disappear into the trees.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're hidden.
Now I will take that shot at advantage.
Now you'll take your attack. Okay.
I think I could have done that next to them anyways, but just might as well, go sneaky.
Sure.
17.
17 will...
Wait, do I on advantage, do I reroll a 1? If one of the dice hits a 1?
Oh, if you have advantage? Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You reroll it.
Cool.
Damn lucky halfling.
Oh, that was almost double nat.
Oh, nat 20. It's on the first one, so I'll take it. Next time, only reroll one of them. Don't reroll the whole thing.
Nat
But I will take
20.
it because you got the nat 20. All right, crit it up. General
Alright.
Grunulus about to get lit.
Find out what happens to our party next week. Check us out at dndndummies.com. And please leave us a rating and a review on your podcast app. It would mean the world to us.
Yes, okay. So you know it better than I did. I didn't actually know like the rest of it. So I looked it up. And it's literally okay, so the video has like millions of views, right? But it's from somebody who has like 600 subscribers, and they posted like 8 videos 20 years ago. Literally, they're all like 19 and 18 years ago. And a lot of them have like millions of views. And it's like, I don't know, like the OG what did I compare it to when I was looking at it last night? Bad lip reading, or like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Bridged, and like
Well, G.I.
that's
Joe.
of G.I. Joe. Yeah, so you're deep in it, Josh.
Well,
You're the
okay,
meme master.
So there's an older YouTube channel as well that I actually don't. I think it was like it might have been before YouTube, but it's called Action Figure Therapy, and they do G.I. Joe action figures, and it has the same type of vibe.
I didn't know that there was stuff that old that had that vibe.
Like internet, like but pre-YouTube. Because my earliest of those viral ones are like the Ends of the World, and that was like
I
early
remember
Yeah,
that
me
one.
YouTube.
too. That was the earliest viral stuff. And the other thing that was early for me was like song remixes, like the Hobbits are going to Isengard.
Yeah,
Isengard, to Isengard, like stuff like that. That was the earliest stuff. I was like, what is this? Like I was like judging my friends. I was like, what are y'all watching? This is so stupid.
Hey, I'm about to send you something in the group chat, Sam, that I need you to watch.
I remember the girl, the blowjob girl, and she became a famous actor. The I'm gonna make it so dry for you.
That was that's Ellie Kemper or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that is
she's Kimmy Schmidt.
That was from like College Humor.
Yeah, it was like
Action
College
Figure
Humor.
Therapy.
You know of
Yeah,
Action Figure Therapy?
Oh yeah, I'm old as fuck, bro.
Hell yeah!
I don't
dude.
remember that.
And I hung out with a lot of military guys.
So I have a military colored Action Figure Therapy shirt that I wore as my like uniform undershirt. It's tan, but on the back. On the back,
Was it big, like in the military stuff, like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the back, it
okay.
had one of the catchphrases. I can't remember which one I had, but it was fucking great.
That's delightful.
I'll have to look that
This
up.
immediately gives me Battlefield Friends vibes.
Yeah. Or Red vs. Blue.
Yeah, I remember Red vs. Blue. That was Rooster Teeth.
Man, Battlefield Friends is delightful. Freaking, he's got an ACOG on his gun. Oh man, there's so much good stuff in Battlefield Friends. If y'all don't know that one, I'm going to share that one later.
I do.
Share that one. I haven't seen that
their
one either.
website's still up. I wonder if they still have shirts.
Did you say shirts? You going to get some merch?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if they still have the one I had. Oh, this is the one I had. Fuck yeah! Hold on.
You going to get another one? Get you another one.
I'm gonna send this to you though because it's fucking hilarious. Because okay, has Story ever told y'all about how like overseas we had to wear fucking reflective PT belts everywhere we went?
I've seen him in the outfit.
I missed that.
Click this link and read the fucking shirt. And this is a quote from one of the videos.
It's so long.
Favorites.
It's so long. Why is it so long?
Because that's just how the video is, and it's fucking great. The delivery of
Twisters.
it. Oh, I see. Reflective belts have been proven to be 100% effective against everything. Oh, wait, does that say goth girls? You don't want that? Oh, goth kids. Okay. It's not big titty goth girls.
Not big titty goth girlfriends.
Whew, that was dangerous.
Totally
Almost
different.
missed out.
Yeah.
Purple
Nobody
nurples.
wanted those out loud when this shirt was made.
Not out loud, but they wanted them.
Now everybody wants them.
Now everybody's out of the closet on the big titty goth girls.
I was ahead of the curve on that one. I imported them from Canada for a while.
I kind of was too.
Goodness gracious.